everybody. It's Sizzlin Summer Sketches week 4, and I'm about to make this sketch. I love the sample that we have here. This is the On the Farm collection. Isn't that pretty? I do have that collection, but when I saw this sketch, I thought of something completely different, totally different take on this. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. Here it is, a little bit easier to see. The week 4. You know, just remember that anytime you see the sketch, these are just supposed to be kind of a starting point, just to give you an idea. You can change it any way that you want, but it just gives you a way to start and then take it in your own direction, depending on what collection you're going to use or what kind of pictures you're going to use. I'm going to be doing some Navy pit photos of my dad. So my first thought was, instead of the tags, making life preservers. I can't wait to get started on this one. So the collection I'm going to use is the new Coastal Shores collection. Oh, I just love it. I live in Minnesota, where, I'm not by the coast. When I saw this, I thought, it's so gorgeous. I want to use it. What can I use it for? Well, I'm making an album for my dad, and he was in the Navy. So I thought this is just perfect for it. The pages are just beautiful. Papers are just beautiful. Well, let me show you the back side. You know, all of our pages are two-sided. Oh, here's the other one for that. So this is the front and the back of this one. Isn't that pretty? And then this is the front and the back of this. Oh, I love it. The colors, aren't they just gorgeous? You get 2 of each. This one is beautiful too. And then the dots. I just love, they're kind of a teals and red. They're very, very pretty. And then kind of a, like a beigey color. And here are some conch shells, other shells. The steering wheel anchors. This is the back side of that. Aren't these papers pretty? And then here's a sky and some more shells. And then I'm not going to use this today, but I wanted to show you, we also have Fast to Fab inspired designer paper packs with this collection. And what these are for is just, they're all, Fast to Fab is where you can take them and they're already pretty much designed. You really don't have to decorate at all. You can just go ahead and put your pictures. So like if you see these two go together, isn't this cool? Isn't that pretty? And then you would just put all your pictures here. You've already got this border already done. Super simple. Just lay your photos in. And then if you don't want to do that, then the back side is a solid color. And then you can, decorate, however you want with stickers and embellishments and different card stocks. So this one would go like this. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love it. Or you could just use the solid colors. Well, it's not solid, but you see what I'm talking about. And then this one too. Oh, now this, I've been out to Myrtle Beach and Savannah, Georgia, Tybee Island. This would be perfect for that. That'd probably match a little better there. There we go. Isn't that pretty? I love it. I don't know what I'll use these for. I haven't decided yet, but love that collection too. So, and I want to show you also the really pretty, the very pretty stickers that go along with this pack, because I'll be incorporating those in as well. So you always get like icons, graphics, and then there's always going to be sayings, Lighthouse Love, By the Bay, Hidden Coves, Endless Discoveries, Coastal Living. Aren't they pretty? And then you'll also always get a sheet of borders. All our sticker packs come like this, and you get all the 3 different kinds. And then I'm going to also be using some of the laser borders. I love these. So cute. Those are lobster. These ones aren't two-sided. Some of ours are. There's a lighthouse. Okay, so lobster, lighthouse. I'm going to do this in case I need a little more room. Some shells and starfish. Here's some more shells. Anchors. I'm definitely going to use that one for this layout. Some more crabs and lobsters. And then here's some pretty water. And then that was a single one. That one. Ooh, and look at this fence. So cute. I love them all. Aren't they just beautiful? This is going to be a really fun layout. I can't wait to get started. All right. So in order to make these cute little life preservers, I guess you would call them, what you're going to need, you're going to need the custom cutting system. You're going to need the 2 smaller ones. You don't need the template. I use it because that helped me decide what size I was going to use. This is, oh, look how old it is. It's 20 years old, I believe. Yeah, that's how long I've had it. And I still have the original blades. I'm using the red and the green for this. You're going to need a sheet of red cardstock and also beige. And the reason I knew that this is going to work is because I'm using the Coastal Shores collection. And what's so great about all of our packs, all our collections, is right up in the corner you'll see all the coordinating cardstocks. So it's beige, red, lagoon shimmer, dark sea green, and navy. So I'm going to use these 2. And you'll also need our hole punch. All right? All right, so to start off, I am going to get out my cutting mat. I'm going to start with the beige. And I'm going to need a total of 6 circles. And I did those at 4 inches, I believe. I'm going to just double check because I did a practice one. So I believe this was 4 inches around. Let's see. Yep. And so that's the red blade with this. I'm just going to do this so I don't forget. And then the inside, oh, I'm sorry. There we go. See the outside, the red here. So I'm going to put those together. And then the inside, I believe, was this one with the green, which is 2 1/4 inches. So I'm going to put those together over here so I don't forget. Got those on the side. So I'm going to need 6 total. All right. So I really like to conserve paper when I can. So what I do is I lock this into the corner and see how close that's going to be cutting. See, it's going to cut pretty close. So I can line that up pretty close to the edge. And I'm going to cut 6. The newer ones of these, this red blade, they swivel. And I think I hear it's easier to cut, but you know, I've got, whoop, I'm not making this look crazy. I'm probably cutting down harder than I need to. I've got 3 of these. Oh, and here's a tip, is to always never lift until you make sure that it's cut all the way through. But luckily that cut enough all the way through, so I'm going to see if I do that, if that goes to here, if I'm going to still have room. I think what I'm going to do... Grandma, what, honey?
We're going to have a bonfire, but we're not, because we found out we didn't have that.
Okay, that was a little break for my granddaughter. We're having a bonfire tonight. So I'm going to go over here and cut this side, because if I went all the way across, I wouldn't have enough room. So I'm going to go this way. Cut number 2. Whoop. Yeah, I probably cut, press down way more than I need to, because I'm always afraid it's not going to cut. Okay, so I know that cut, so then I can move this. All right, there's number 2. I'm going to move this up. Actually, it probably will make a... Oh, that's great. Which seems strange, because 4 inches times 3, that's 12. So they're really going to be next to each other. So I'm going to just double check to make sure. Yep, it's going to make it. All right, so number 3. So they must just be a little bit... Right. Whoop. I think it'll probably be easiest just to go back over this end. All right. And so they're on their way back up, so I'm going to stop for a minute and cut the rest of these other ones. 1 minute. All right, so now I have 6 4-inch circles. And so now I have to cut out the inside of them, and I'm going to make them like this. So I'm going to take my larger and the green. This is the middle size of the custom cutting system. And this I'm just going to kind of eyeball. I can look over here, and I'm going to move this down because the camera's in my way, just to find where the middle is. This will be just an eyeball kind of thing. And if I make a little bit of mistake, you know, part of this is going to be covered up by, you know, the rest of the paper. So that's okay. If I get it a little off, it is okay. All right. Hopefully you can see me cutting at this low angle. All right, so then this goes right on the inside. And it's funny, there's a lot of people who think they would never use these, you know, because cutting photos into circles. I really don't do that very often, but I certainly have gotten my use out of these over the years. Absolutely. All right, so now I'm going to do another one. Just get that nice and centered. But yeah, there's so many things you can do with a circle cutter. I also have the newer circle cutter. I love that. I wanted to use that for this, but the smallest circle that it cuts is a 3-inch circle, and I needed smaller because this inside one is 2 1/4, so I couldn't use that. But if you don't have that tool, boy, I'd suggest getting it. It's a blast, and you have a lot more options of sizes that you can cut. All right, so make sure that you save these because we are going to use these for the little loops. All right, I am going to stop and cut the last 3, and then I will be back. All right, so I have all 6 of these cut. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm saving the circles. I'll show you what I'm going to do with those in a minute. So now I'm going to do the same thing with the red, but this time instead of doing 6, I think I'm only going to try 4 and see how that works, because this is just going to be for the stripes, and I can get more than 4 of these out of one of the circles. I'm hoping I can get 6. So 6 times 4. Yeah, let me just do 4 for now. So we'll do the same thing. We're going to use this one with the red. Let's start up here. I love when I can, like, you know, just sit and think about something and then come up with something fun and something different. You know, when I looked at the sketch, I thought, oh, okay. So I really liked how they had the tags kind of on the side, you know, along the side of this one page and then on the front. And I thought, okay, what are some other fun things that you can do besides just doing the tags? You know, there's so many different things. I thought circles, and I don't know why I thought life preserver, but it was the first thing that popped into my head. And I thought, oh, this will be perfect with this our new Coastal Shores collection, which I think is gorgeous. I'm doing an album for my dad, and he was in the service. He was in the Navy, and so that was my first thought. And he was stationed in Morocco. And when he was stationed there, he lived actually right across from the ocean. Him and a couple of his buddies. Oh, there's a mark on that paper, so we'll just do the backside. So I thought, oh, this would be perfect. So I'm just setting up some of these paper pages ahead of time, and then I'll put the pictures later. What's really nice about this layout is it's really easy to do that. I usually don't finish them until I know exactly what pictures I'm going to use, because then I can be really flexible. Okay, see, good thing that I left that there, because I didn't quite cut all the way through on this end, bottom. There we go. All right, because if you move it, it's almost impossible to get it lined up exactly where it was again. All right. So I'm going to finish this part. I'll do it again. I think the new ones are supposed to work a lot easier. I just haven't changed them because I don't use these a whole lot. And so, like, why? I feel like, why spend my money on new ones when I can use the old ones and then spend my money on something else new and fun? All right, so get that lined up just right. And I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the beige ones. And I probably don't need to save these. I could, if I wanted to maybe make the rings here red instead of white. I'm probably going to just leave them white. But I'll probably save those circles because, you know what, they're decent sized circles and I can use them in another layout. Everybody's different on what kind of scraps they like to save. I like to save all of mine. And sometimes it's kind of silly about, oh, that's so small. But you know what? When they're all circles, then it makes sense. Because, yeah, I'm sure I'll use those. I'm sure I will. All right, just a couple more. Get those yet? 3. So what's so nice about these being clear is you can look through and see exactly where you need to line them up. And especially helps when the paper's red. It's easy to see through, to see it through the little template. All right. All right, so I have those. Set those aside, set these aside. Now, okay, so if you look at these, my sample, I'm going to need 4 of these on each one. So I have 6 times 4. I'm going to need 24 of these. So this is going to be perfect to use these. I'm so glad I kept them. 2, 3, are we missing one? Nope, there we go. All right, so then I take this tool, and I'm just going to start with the first 2 here. I'm going to go right about there. Oh, I forgot to tell you another tool we need. Okay, and I can go, I'm going to wait on those. The other one is this is really a throwback. I don't even know if all of you have this, but this is one of our old circle makers, the circle punches, and this is a 3/4 inch. So what I'm going to do is flip it upside down because then I can see where this is. I'm going to set that so it's kind of right in the middle. What? Let me get this. Hang on. Okay, let me look. Okay, see, I get it right in the middle there. Wait, there we go. All right, and then I go ahead and punch. Whoa. There, see? And it's okay if it's a little bit off there, because then I'll probably just put it on with that end right there. You know what I mean? Right there. All right, so now I'm just going to show you this first, how I can use this whole circle. We'll do that again for the second one. Try to get it as centered as you can. There's 2. All right, once I have those, then I can go here and see exactly where I want that one to line up. There's another one. Whoa. They're just flying. Yeah, I've had this punch for seriously 20 years. That's how long I've been scrapbooking with Creative Memories. And it still works. Isn't that great? And look at, I used up, I would not save this one, okay? I mean, that's really being resourceful. All right, so I'm going to just punch the rest of these. I'm not going to do it on camera because that's kind of boring, but I'll be back soon. All right, I have all of them cut, all 24 of them. And just to show you that, you know, because you're going, just using those scraps so tightly, if you get little mistakes here, or I had one that had like, oh, this one here, had like a little notch out of it. Really don't worry about it, because remember, like I said, you're going to have that underneath, and it's okay if it covers that up, okay? So I'm going to push those aside. So then now I'm going to cut the red to go here, and do you see how they're all coming in a slant? Now, when I made this, I was just doing this really quickly to see how this was, as I was designing it, see how it was going to work. See the difference of the length here to the length there? I don't like that. I want to try and make sure that they're a little more uniform, okay? So when I do that, I'm going to take my micro tip scissors, and I think I'll just go like that, and about that. I like that length. Okay, and so I can't go, oh yeah, I can. Ah, sweet, this is going to be so much easier. So I can just kind of eyeball it. Okay, that one will work. Whoops. Right, hopefully that's pretty good. And now, you know, this is the wrong angle, right? It's got to go a little bit more this way. And then I'm going to pay attention to how wide I want that. If they're a little off, it's okay, you know. That right? Okay, and so now that is a little, yeah, it seems like it needs to be more of an angle. And then like that. So let's see how that looks. Like that. I think that looks really good. All right, so then I'm going to take I'm going to use my repositional, my green, just because if I need to lift these, then I can do that. What I love about the repositional. And I've got a little nick here. Do you see that here? When I cut this, this is a great time to make sure that I cover that up. Sometimes I flip them over. But yeah, if you ever get mistakes like that, because, you know, we're not perfect. We all make mistakes. So, is that wide enough? Yeah, it is. Just seemed like it was... Seems a little funny, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know if I like that one. So I'll just cut another one. You know, because I can always cut more. This seems like this is a little off too. Why is that? Why is that off? I think it's just the, you know, just the cut. Sometimes it isn't that smooth. There we go. All right, so we'll put that back. Why is that a little off? That's so strange. So weird. There we go. You know, it's nice though. That can be the part that's covered up, right? So I think I will remember that, and I'm just going to make sure that the inside line is the one that is lined up. I must have accidentally maybe lifted up a little bit when I was cutting that, but no worries, it'll be fine. And then this one will be right there. And then I was going to cut another one, right? So I'm going to make that a nice... See that? So I'm going to be able to get more than 4 out of this. There. Nice so far, huh? And then I'm going to get 4 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am going to use my... Here we go. My silicone mat. The nice thing about that is that I can use my tape runner right on it and the repositional, and it won't stick. So I'm going to get 4 of them all set. Paying attention, so if some of them are a little bit uneven, that I will put the uneven side that's behind the life preserver, right? And if you wanted, you could do these in red too. I just decided to do them in the lighter color. I like it better that way. I'm going to cover part of that. I'm not going to go way out here. I'm going to go right about there. Stick that one on. And I can, whoops, I kind of like that closer like that. Yeah, I kind of like that closer, so I'm going to move this a little closer. It's really bothering me why that is not the same. You know, I cut them the same size, so I don't know why that is. But see, now this edge is probably the side that I will put out when I lay out the whole page. All right, I'll make sure that I think that those look even. I think that they do. And then now I can just rub all the extra tape runners. Isn't that cute? I love it. All right, so now I just need 5 more, or yeah, 5 more of those. So maybe I'll just do one more for you so that you can see how I did that. I'm going to take what I have left of this because I might as well keep using it. Get a nice angle there. That's about how wide I want that. I might be able to get a piece out of this, but I doubt it. I think it's going to be too narrow. Yeah, okay. So I might end up having to cut another one. We shall see. I like that upside down. Oh, see, I know. Okay, now I figured out why I got it. See how this happened like that? It's because when I cut the red, it wasn't exactly centered. Do you see how this side is a little bit wider than this? That's what happened. So that's okay. Hopefully the rest aren't like that, but I'm going to make sure that I use this side before I do this. Because if anything, I'd rather have that a little bit wider than narrower, right? Because then that's going to cover up the beige. And I think somebody's playing with my she's over here grinning. She's so used to Grandma scrapbooking all the time, right? She's my
evil Scooby-Doo.
You're the evil Scooby-Doo?
Yes.
She's my little scrapbooker. All right, so I will lay this out to see if this is going to work out, and I think it will. And let's see this one over here.
Wait, you're missing something.
No.
You're supposed to add the ring.
I did on this one, but I've got to finish this one.
But how are you going to add the rings if there's no the thing?
I don't know, Garfield. Hello, everyone. Welcome, Garfield, to the... Okay, watch out, sweetie. All right, so I'm going to put these ones down.
How do you make the rings stay on?
With the tape runner.
I don't understand. How did you take them on?
You know, you've used this tape runner so many times.
If you guys buy this tape and you don't want that tape to be in that spot, just rub it.
You're right. I showed them. It does. It comes right off. That's why it's so fun, isn't it? All right. So that's a little off there. That is okay because that's the part that I can cover up. Whoops.
I fell. Oh, glittery.
Oh, yeah, I'm really off on this, but that's okay.
See if you use it. It's beautiful.
Because I'd rather have them off a little bit, you know,
It's like, wait,
larger than the beige.
can I help?
When I'm all done. You got to be quiet now, though, honey, because I'm trying to teach people how to do this. So this is
to teach my own people. Good marshmallow.
yeah. So you can clearly see how if you're off a little bit, in the center of your circle, then this is going to happen, and that's okay. Like I said, because I can just have this part is the part that's behind the paper that's going to be running along. All right, so I'm going to do 4 more of these, and then I'll be done with this one. And then I am going to stop and finish the others because that's going to be kind of boring just watching me do the same thing over and over, right?
And how you tape the little circles behind, you like put tape right here. And again, if you don't want the tape right there, again, just wipe it off of your finger. And anytime it's there, just like jump it, and there you go. Now it's an onion ring.
I think she's a natural. I think that you might see this young lady on her own YouTube channel one day, huh?
Because I'm gonna go to the Goatman's Bridge.
You're going to go to the Goatman's Bridge. I don't know where that is,
And
but...
I'm gonna die and break it or whatever.
Oh, that sounds a little...
I don't want to die, but
Okay.
I'm just gonna go to Goatman's Bridge.
Is that one of your games?
No.
All right, so I think that one's a little off. All right, and just like she said too, you just go like that and you just rub off the extra glue
For 10 times
from the
and we're
tape runner. All right, so I got 2 of them done, 4 more to go. I'm going to stop here and just finish those really quickly. All right, so there they are. I've got 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aren't those cute? Yeah, they were a little bit of extra work. Whoops. That one got stuck because I was testing out a lot of these. You know, some of them were kind of like that because it's so hard to get those centered. But just like I said, I'll just end up covering that spot. So there they are. There's 6 of them. I'll save these circles here for another project. And yeah, now these are all ready to go to start doing the layout. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is trying to decide which papers I want where. And so I'm thinking about what I'm going to want here. So the way I decide is I'm going to see these are going to be laying on it. So, you know, that's really important how that's going to pop out. Well, that totally is lost in it. Then the tans are lost in that. This I don't think I want to use because it has lobster. This is for lobster traps, so I don't think that would be a good idea. And I'm just doing the back sides of these. I really love this stripe, but I think it's going to get lost in that. This is definitely a possibility. The beige kind of gets lost in that as well. I love this so much. I've kind of thought of this ahead of time of what I'm going to do. I really wanted to do this, but in the end, it just didn't seem like it worked out. That the beige gets lost. That would be a good choice. Nah. I really like this. I'm going to be using this, but I chose this. I kind of like this because of it reminded me of the sea, but when I tried laying it out, it didn't really work. So the ones that I chose were these ones. So I am going to grab that, and then the back side of that is this. So these are the ones I'm going to use. All right, get that out of the way. And those I'm going to use for the back side here and also for the 6x12. And then what I decided on these 1x12s, I'm going to use navy cardstock. The nice thing is that, you know, on the front of the pack, it always shows the coordinating cardstocks. So I use these two for the life preservers, and I decided between these two, I chose the navy. And it took me a while to figure out. I'm just like so indecisive a lot of the times, but I finally made a decision. All right, so for this right here, the backing of here is going to be this paper, and these are both 6 by 12. So that one's a real easy one to figure out. So I'm going to get my awesome cutter. And then I look, it's, the nice thing too is that, you know, this is not directional because one piece will go this way and then it's going to go that way for the other one. So like if I would have chosen, like this really pretty one that I almost chose, but figured it's going to get covered up by pictures anyways. So for this part, it would be going up and down. And then this side, it would be going that way, which would be actually kind of, I would actually like that. But I thought about it a lot, and I ended up doing this. Get out a little bit farther. There we go. All right, so 2 6-inch by 12-inch pieces. All right, I have those two. And then these I figured out, so if this is 6, these are 1s, 7, 8, so this would be 4 inches. And then this is not directional, so I'm going to do a 4-inch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this on a white piece of cardstock. The reason being is otherwise I have to have a base sheet, and I would probably have to, this would be here. I could just put these right on top, right here. Well, here, I'm sorry. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these, and I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to cut these strips here first. These are 1 by 12s, and I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do them in the navy. And I'm just going to go across this way so I can get more stability. There's 1. 2. What? 3. And 4. All right, so cutting those, if I was going to use this as the base sheet, then I would put this sheet here, this strip, this, and then the other one. Right? So that would go like that. What I hate about that is I'm wasting all this paper under here, right? Why would I want to do that? So what I do instead is I'm going to just use a white cardstock base, and then I'm just going to tape this right on top. Or you can do it just right on your page, you know, like your page that goes in your album. You can do that too. I'm not going to do that because I haven't decided what color art pages I'm going to use. I might use black because I've been really liking that lately. And plus with all the other pages that I'm putting in there, I think I really want to do it black. But since I haven't decided, I'm just going to do it this way for now. Okay, so remember we had 6 inches, 7, 8, so then 4. That all adds up to 12. All right, and then on this side, we've got 6, right? 7, 8, but we've got this down here and then this up here. And I figured this is 1 inch, so I think this is about 1.5 inches. Which makes sense, because if it was 2, then that would only be 2. So it's 1.5 inches, and then 3.5. So if we go 3.5 and 1.5 inches, that's 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that's not right. I had this figured out earlier. 6, 7, 8. So we have 4 inches. So if this is 1.5 inches and this is 2.5, And if I look at it, that seems 1, 2, and that seems about right. So this would be 1.5, 2.5. So 2, 3, 4. Yep. 1.5 and 2.5. Okay. So we're going to go 1.5. Oh, I hope this is right. And then 2.5. You know, measure twice, cut once. Okay. So see, and otherwise I would have had to waste this whole other paper. And now look what I have left, right? So that was a smart choice. But you can do it whatever way you want, whichever makes it easiest for you. All right, so I've got my 2 pieces of white cardstock and all the pieces that I'll need. I'm going to bring out my mats because this really is really helpful when I'm trying to lay everything out and match it up. All right, and I'm going to put a little bit of repositional tape on the back because then these are going to be exactly where I want them and they're going to stay. And it'll just rub off when I'm all done. That's what I love about our repositional tape. All right, so I got these down. All right, and then, so the first strip is going to go along this edge. It's a little bit longer. There we go. And then one of these pieces. And I really like to use the repositional because then if I make a mistake, I can quick lift it up and put it back down. And you can do that with the regular tape runners too. But I'm just kind of really liking this stuff. All right, whoops. So hopefully some of you are doing the Sizzlin summer sketches this year. I did it last year too, and I loved it. It was so fun. I got a lot done. And it was a way to really keep me motivated. I loved seeing all the different ideas, you know, all the different interpretations everybody had of the sketches. It's amazing how creative people can be, or just how we all just think so much differently when we see a layout. This one comes together really quickly. All right, and so this one's going to go up here, here, here. So I'm going to... So I had some of the pictures. Can you see that? I'm going to scoot up a little bit. I'm doing a lot of my dad's Navy pictures. But the bummer is on this layout, I have already printed a lot of the, wait a second. I've already printed a lot of the photos. And some of them are, a lot of the ones, the Navy ones are 5x5. And so this doesn't really work on here. It could, but I have to think about it before I decide what photos I'm going to put down. All right. Right, that one. All right, whoop. I'm going to put some there too. And so you don't really need a lot of tape. Yeah, isn't this this is a quick one, huh? I like it a lot. All right, and then right here. And you just have to Well, kind of feel it. You'll kind of feel it just kind of snug up to the edge there. And actually a trick that I do is I always make sure, see this is a little crooked, but I always make sure that the cardstock underneath is 12 by 12. And I actually like to make it a little bit smaller so that, you know, like it doesn't end up like this or something and all of a sudden you have a too much white space on the outside. So yeah, I always cut it just a tiny bit smaller. All right. Oh, what I just realized is good thing I use repositional because I totally forgot about the most important part of the whole layout are these, and they're going to be going underneath. So I just take my multi-purpose tool and I can lift this one right back off. Being careful not to bend it. And then I'll lift this one up too. There we go. Get that. There we go. Because these are all going to tuck under here. All right. So remember when I was talking about how sometimes that got a little close? So you can see the white. So I'm going to make sure that that part is underneath and not the part sticking out. So let me get some repositional here. I think the middle, by using these mats, I can see this is the middle here. So I am going to decide where about I want that. I'm going to have the middle one kind of be closer to the edge. That looks about the middle. And I'll take another one. And that's a little off there, so I think I'll go this way. I'm going to think about how I'm matching those up. I probably want more of the red up there. Do you see what I'm doing? And then this is going to be a little bit closer. Remember that it's going to be cut off here. See that? Okay. So I think I like that. And then I'll do the last one. And then just I want that down there. Yeah, I think I like that. I don't want these exactly the same here, you know, like that down there. So I think I want to do that. I like it. All right, make sure that there's still some stuff on there. I'm just going to make sure. I'll do this one again. Okay, so I'm a little off. Isn't that funny? How in the world did that happen? There. No, it's not. Oh, I love it. That's going to drive me a little bit nuts, though. Like if you've watched any of my other videos, you know, like I've said before, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I wish I wasn't. Done is better than perfect. But some of those things just kind of will bother me. So I'm going to put that down there. There. Okay. So now I'm going to go over to this side. I'm going to lift this up. I think I'm only going to probably have to lift up the blue because this piece is wider than this here. So the one in the middle, I'm going to look at the 6. I know that that's the middle. And let's see. I'm going to do it just about like that. Okay, so see my perfectionist here. I'm going to scoot that down a little bit. There we go. So we don't see that little piece of blue there. And that looks about right. Gosh, it seems like this is closer, doesn't it? 4, but it's not. Well, it kind of is. Let's see. So here's 4, there's 8. No, that's about right. Good, okay. Do this one here. Oh, that one turned out pretty good. That's probably the most white there though. So I think I'm going to go like that. Maybe scoot it down a little bit. Paying attention to how close this is to the edge for when I get up there. All right, and probably this is probably the best. Whoops. That might sneak under. All right, I think I like that a lot. All right, so we'll put this one back. All right. So now I put this one down. Put it back over that. So oops, I'm going to do this. There's a little bent edge, so I think I'll put that on the bottom where it's not, hopefully not as noticeable. There. I could probably, I wonder if I want to scoot those in a little bit more, because see how this obviously is because it's, because, you know, this piece is wider, or narrower, I'm sorry. I don't know. I guess I kind of like it that way. Okay, now the other thing that I want to do is I want to do a rope border here because I've got this great border maker cartridge that is, I think it'll be perfect for this. So I'm going to go back to my papers. I know that there is a light brown here. I don't want it the same as this beige. I was going to use a cardstock, but I think I'm going to use... That's too close. What did I do with it? Because I saw it already. Ah, there it is. There. I'm going to try it with that. I kind of like it because it's not a solid color, especially because I'm doing it on a solid color. So I think I'm going to try it with this. So I'm going to get out my border maker system. And if any of you do not have this, this is one of my favorite tools. I use it all the time. This just pops right in there. And pay attention to these two little notches. All right, so to use this, I'm going to pull out the bottom blue. Hopefully that makes sense. I'll do it again slower. On the bottom, you pull out this tray. That's the trick. You pull it out here, and you lift this bar, and this is a magnet, which is going to hold the paper. I think this is the direction I should go instead of this, right? Because it's a wood grain. This side, it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm going to go and I'm going to put it in that tray. And I'll flip this down. And then these notches here match up with the notches here. So you'll feel it catch. And then the other good thing to pay attention to is this line here is going to line up to all of these. Right, you see those notches? So you can kind of, it'll help guide you to where you're going to be putting this. So I can feel it's locked in. And then I'll just go along, and I screwed up there. I didn't have it locked in. See, so I messed up. That was my fault. But whoops, it's an easy fix. I'm just going to cut that piece off. I'm just bummed that I wasted that paper, but oh well. Mistakes happen. All right, I'll try that again, and I'm not going to, I'm going to pay a little more attention to what I'm doing. All right, here we go again. Although, what's nice is I can kind of look to see if this is what I like. Am I going to like that? Let's see. That color? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to use this over here, so I'm going to see. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I had a dark brown earlier that I kind of liked because I thought it really matched that. Let me see a minute. I'm going to think for a second. Give me a minute. I want to use this just because it's part of the collection. And you know what? Actually, that is more the color of the rope anyways. You know, rope would be more of that color. Right? Well, this is another way to figure it out. If I look at these, see, now that's really the color I want. Let me think for a minute. I think I'm going to look in my cardstock stash. 1 minute. All right, so I found another color that was cardstock that was about the closest I could get to that. And then I cut one of these, and then I also ended up cutting with this as well. And I'm stumped both ways. I mean, I think both of them would look really good. But I think what I'm going to do, once I put this here... Oh, golly. I have such a hard time making decisions sometimes. Let me see. I thought I was set on this because of, you know, having those green, the pieces of green like I had said. And I'm going to get these little pieces off there. So it's probably not always a good idea to cut right on top of your layout. All right, so that's the one solid. I like how good it goes with that. Although, honestly, once you get the photos on there, you're probably not going to see it. So there's that, or there's this. Okay, I'm going to stick with this because, like I was saying before, I really like that there's green in this. So you can see that there's different colors. It's not just one solid color. All right, so I need 3 more. I'll quick cut those. All right, then I'm going to get my silicone mat out so that I can just go ahead and tape right on here and it won't stick to my table. I gotta think of the space here and there, so this is probably gotta go down a little bit. There we go. Oh, I like that. This is one of my favorite Boilermaker cartridges, but yeah, you'll hear me say that a lot. My training is landscape design, so when I talk about plants, I know, like when I would meet clients, I would always say, oh, that's my favorite plant, that's my favorite plant. I'd say it a lot because I have so many favorites. I have a lot of favorite Boilermaker cartridges too. Probably because as a landscape designer, that's probably why I like to scrapbook so much too. I love design. But boy, wasn't this easy. I mean, seriously, this has taken no time. I'm so excited. And I just love how these turned out. All right, and then we'll put this one on. And one more. This is great about this repositional because it's just these little dots. I don't know if you can see them kind of glittering there. And so I can just go right over it, and all the ones that are, you know, in the spaces, they won't even stick to this. But it's really easy. I mean, you can see a little bit of I don't know if you can see that in the light, but see the little dots? You just rub those off. when you're all done. All right, we'll go here so that they don't show and they don't get all over your page protector. So when I get this done, all right, just go like that, and then it's just going to get rid of all of them. Oh, how do you like that so far? I like that a lot. Okay, so now I think I want to put this little anchor here. I'm hoping I still like that. So I had this decorative ideas, and I believe this is on the blog. I can't remember if it is, or if you have to get it from me, or your advisor if you have a different advisor. But I'm going to use this idea because I thought this was perfect. Set sail for memories. So I'm going to put this down here. Actually, it might be kind of cool to, I could bump this up with foam squares. I think I won't this time, but it would be a kind of a neat way to just make that pop. And then I could do that with this. A neat way, since this is a sticker, a neat way that you can do that is you could just put baby powder on the back of that, and then you would put the foam squares up. And I think I'm going to do the foam squares anyways. I think it'll still work. Sometimes you worry about it sticking where you don't want it to stick, like a bending and sticking down, but this shouldn't happen because I'm going to make sure that I use enough foam squares. Ugh, it's just hard putting them on because my fingers are going to stick. All right, so we get, and I don't use these sparingly because I don't want any part to just bend in. So I just go ahead and, I know that's a lot, but it's worth the look. It really is. So then these are just double-sided. I take off all the little pieces. All right, and then set sail for memories. Oh, I love it. All right, and then I want to do maybe a little cluster over here. And again, I was looking at this. I really love this Salty Sea Stories because, like I said, I'm going to be doing this for my dad's. It's going to be a Navy album for my dad. And I've got some photos, but like I said, these are the kind of the ones I was going to use. I've already printed them on 4x6, so see, this doesn't work here. I can easily cut off this edge, and then that will look good there. And then these ones here, I had to figure out just some really cool ones. He was stationed in Morocco. I was probably going to put these two, and then I could put a 4x4, and then I could put him with a lot of his buddies there. If I did that, I would cut this down, but I realize if I do that, I'm going to cut off, I could probably cut to there, right there. I don't really want to trim this too much because it's already cropped in pretty well. And the other thing is I really think that I would like to maybe matte these, and they would be really matted very nicely in this color. That just kind of pulls that, that green out. This is the dark sea green. So I don't think these are the photos that I'm going to use, honestly. Or maybe I think I would with these two. And I could probably trim those up a little bit. But I know these are 5x5s. So what I'm going to do is I could do a 5. Yeah, this is what I'm going to do. So that I'm doing this ahead of time so that I know what kind of embellishments I could do. That will look right. So this is a 5" and by 5". So I'm going to cut this 5 and a, if I do a quarter. So 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. So there's 5 1/4, and then I'll do 2 of them. Did I make a mistake? That looks good. I am gonna cut this guy off just a tad bit so it fits in there a little better. There we go. All right, and then this one should fit okay. This is my favorite picture of my dad in the service. He looks so cool. He still is cool. Coolest guy I know I've ever known in my whole life. And I'm sure a lot of you people feel that way about your dads, I hope. All right. That looks great. What do I do with my... Nope, I don't want that one. Where's my tape runner? There he is. Underneath. Oh, and I just ran out. This is nice, though. When you're an advisor, the store is always open, right? And I love that. That was an extra one that I had. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I will cut those down. We'll see. Because now that I have this, I really like these two on here. I think they look really nice. I can't wait till my dad sees this album. Oh, I just can't wait. I know he's going to love it. I'm going to love it. Sometimes I wish I would have done it digital so that I could give my brothers copies, but that's okay. I'll just maybe scan them. And then they can have a copy too. All right. So then I got this one here. Okay, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so now I'm gonna... Okay, set sail for memories. That's why I really want these over here. The mats are gonna be... I'm gonna follow this so that I still can see some of this on the edge, and then I'm gonna see if these photos will work. They might not, but I'm gonna cut the mats first. So they're 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. So I'm gonna take this other piece that I have. How wide is this? This is 6 1/2. So I'm gonna do, to save paper, I'm gonna do 3 1/2. Because I gotta think too. I can cut some off there and I can cut some off here. Okay. So 3 1/2. Gosh, that seems... I don't think I want it that small. That means I'm going to be cutting off a lot of the photo. Because if I do 5 1/2, then I'm going to have to cut off quite a bit. Let me think for a second. All right, so I decided I'm not going to use this picture because I don't want to crop it anymore. I have plenty of other pages that I can use it on. So I found one that's also on the aircraft carrier that'll work, and this one's 5 inches. It was a 5 by 5, so I cut it down to 4 by 5. So I'm going to cut this one down to 4 by 5 as well. And I just had my... What in the world? How did I... Oh, it's right here. I'm like, what did I do with it? So this will be 4 by 5. This is my personal trimmer. Oh, that's not going to work. Wait, this is 5. Okay. Phew, I'm like, I sat here and figured this all out. Why is it not going to work? Okay, so 4 by 5. Now, if I kind of lay those down right here to kind of get an idea, and then I'm going to have a little space there that I could put a journaling box, which I like this one, and that might just go, yeah, I might like that. Okay. Sometimes I think out loud. So these are 4 by 5. So then I'm going to cut my mats 4.5, no, 4.25 by 5.25. Yep. So these ones will be 4.25 this way. So there are 2 of them. Oh, that's a scratch piece of paper by 5.25. Let me just double check on this before I... Yep. It just doesn't seem like they're very large. Sometimes I like wider mats, but in this case I don't, because I don't want to take a... I want to be able to see some of this paper. So if I had a bigger mat, then it would either go out this way, or I would have to cut the photo down smaller, and I don't want to do that. Okay, so here's this one. That bent there. We go. See, I like that so much better, because now you can see that this pretty paper, you don't want to cover. What's the point of putting it there if you end up covering it all up, right? So this one's going to be here. I do like that other airplane photo better, but it just wasn't going to work here. So this will be good. I didn't have that exactly where I want it, so I will lift that up and put it back down again. There. All right, so I like that there. I like this here. I love our mats. Oh, these are so pretty. A lot of them. They're just gorgeous. There's 2 different size mats. There's 4 by 6s, and then there's the 4.5 by 6.5. This would be perfect if you're, going to put down a... This is a 4 by 6 photo. You can use these. I'll just grab this one for an example. You could use them for mats. They work out really nice, but obviously that's too big for anything that I'm doing. But they also have, lots of different colors. I love all of these. Every moment is a wave to ride. A lot of these are not, don't really pertain to what I'm doing. So I'm just going to get a plain old, this is kind of cool. Maybe I could use that for a mat. Or journaling box, I'm sorry. Let's see. Walk along the shoreline. See, a lot of these are not, really navy. That's too much of the same thing. That's too light, I believe. Oh, that kind of is nice because it pulls in those greens. That's a possibility. No. I had this one picked out. I like this because it looks like a porthole. Don't really know if they have those on aircraft carriers, though. And it kind of picks up the circles, but now I feel like I've got too many circles. I don't like that. Which was what I liked about this, was this color. I love the teals, but like I said, I don't really care for that. So many circles. So I think that this one looks good. I like it. Because I really need to tell the stories about these pictures. You know, ask my dad about them. All right, so I'm going to put this down here. I'm thinking about this being even on these sides, and then I'm also going to have it the same here. You know, if you get too low, that would look dumb. So I want it to be even all the way around. Oh. Try that one again. There. And do the same on the top one. I think it makes sense to have this one on the top because there's something in this corner. It kind of anchors it. And then it's kind of the same with down here. All right, so now I could put this down right here. Make sure it's about even. Would be about there. See, there's the 4, there's the 8. I could do that, or I could trim it down. I think I'm going to keep it this way because if I trim it down to match these guys, it's probably not going to, yeah, it won't work. So I'm going to keep it this way. Paying attention to the 4 and the 8, that makes it right centered in the middle. So it's so nice about these mats is I don't have to worry about, you know, kind of, otherwise I'd be just kind of guessing where I was placing that to make sure it was in the middle. Now I can look on the sides and I can say, oh yeah, it is. Right, perfect. Okay, and what was I going to do? I was going to do that Salty Sea Living. So I'm going to go back to these decorative ideas. Salty Sea Stories. So I've got this one. I've got, where are my other ones? Right here. There's the anchor, and then there's a crab. I think I like that. So I'm going to, if you have a piece of plastic or something that you can just kind of set it up on there. I've got an old, this is for the custom cutting system. Actually, that's not what I'm using. I'm going to use something different here. This is an oldie but a goodie. But actually, this is what I'll use. You could use just like a sticker back. There we go. All right, so Salty Sea Stories. Put that there. I'm going to pay attention. I could use my anchor punch too. But no, I'm just going to do it this way. All right, and so I've got this one right here. And then one of these little crabs, I want the brightest one. Well, maybe not. I want the lighter one. Cute, cute, cute. All right, I'll take that off of there. I don't think I need anything over here because I've got all of this here. I've got that. I think I'm going to put this one right so it kind of goes over that. I think I kind of want it to the side. No, I don't. I think I want it just like this. I love how this turned out. What do you think? I think that's good. And then now all I got to do is finish the story. All right. I hope you liked it. I think I really like it. Let's see. Take it off of here. Oh, remember that all I have to do is, when I move these, just rub that off. Can you see where that's rubbing off right there? And same with this one. I'll rub it off on my mat too. Make sure that I get that cleaned out, but you can see it rubbing right off. That's great. All right. Voila, there we go. Love it. I'll get this all nice and move my table, which is just a backdrop. There. What do you think? That looks great, huh? Maybe I'll do it that way so you can see. All right, that's it. Thanks. I hope you liked it. Bye.